We do have food on the way. It'll be here, and I think it said like 45 minutes to an hour. Just some wings, some salad, and some fries. If you don't like wings or salad, if you don't like salad, there's wings, so, right? And if you're still too picky, there's a general farm store downstairs. They got a little bit of goodies and stuff like that as well.
You really want to shell out some money.
So, fire blanket, okay, super important, right? Now, we're not going to really demo into the burn kit, okay? We will show you. You run and grab your burn kit.
Brandon, there's one right there, bud.
Burn kit.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. You're good. Right. So when you're talking to families about the burn kit, so after you transition you from the fire blanket to the burn gel, right? What do you think is the first question you should ask somebody? You just had a fire. You ever burned yourself, right? Especially if people want to say that they would use a lid to smother the fire. Typically, if it's a scorching grease fire, right, you put a lid on it, the flames will probably still come up over the side. It's still likely to burn yourself. Now, we all get the common people saying, oh, you can put cold water on it, butter, there's some other things.
Aloe.
Aloe's not a bad alternative. Mustard, right? They'll say something cold, they'll say ice, right? The biggest thing with that, right? Have any of us ever taken a pan and put it under cold water when we're done cooking?
Yep.
What does that pan do?
Sizzle.
So imagine what a burn does to your skin when the cold water hits it. It'll sizzle it. It'll push the heat deeper in, okay? If you ever notice any firefighters that you've seen who have burn scars on them, okay? Those aren't just like putting your hand over the fire and let the fire cook you. It's a steam burn, okay? So essentially what that means is some person went into the fire and had a fog pattern nozzle on and it just steamed the whole room, right? So very similar to putting a frying pan under cold water, you're steaming each other, right? So we don't do cold water, right? And then the families start asking, well, how would I treat it? Okay, that's when you show them the burn gel, right? Because the objective is taking the heat out of the burn, right? You don't take the heat out, the burn goes deeper, and that's when things typically get irritated, right? So you want to pull the heat out. You can ask them if they have burn gels, anything like that in their home. Not only that, how many of you guys sunburn? I burn, right? We all burn. We all have pretty bad sunburn. I know he does. In our awesome kit, how many of you guys had the opportunity to use this sunburn gel yet?
Not the sun.
Oh, you guys just started in the fall too. All right. It's awesome. Okay. We went on a trip. I'll burn like once a year, and then I'm fine. But I am also one of those dudes who will say, "Nah, I don't need sunscreen." Right? I think we all
That's
do.
me.
Well, unfortunately, I did that, and I got burned really bad. Used this gel, like to the point you couldn't put a t-shirt on. It was so uncomfortable. I literally, like, no bullshit, used this gel, and within 24 hours, the burns were still there, but they were bearable. Like you could put a shirt on, you could act normal. Someone could hit you on the back, and it wouldn't hurt, right? So the sunburn gel is also a huge thing in there too, right? So the burn kit, right? After you show them that, Shannon, could you volunteer again? Appreciate it. So Shannon, rather than using ice, butter, mustard, I'm going to show you a better and much more effective alternative. Right? This gel is the same kind of gel that first responders utilize on their ambulances and their fire trucks. So Shannon, what I'm going to do, you're going to hold the heat thermometer.
All right.
Okay? I'm going to go ahead and hold the flame to it. When it reaches 400 degrees, let me know. So after it goes down a couple times.
All right.
So after you're sitting here, you're just having a general conversation with them, right? So Shannon, I'm going to go ahead.
You gotta keep it on there. What are
I'm
you
going to go ahead and
I'll go ahead and let you
after I
fire.
pull the lighter out, Shannon, I'm going to have you put the thermometer in the burn gel, right? And then I want you to listen. Right? And then watch the gauge. You'll see it drastically drop.
It is drastically dropping.
Okay. So within 5 seconds, right, this has already dropped quite a bit, okay? Imagine what this could do for you if you ever burn yourself. That'd be pretty awesome. You have children, right?
I do.
Do they ride dirt bikes, four-wheelers, anything like that?
No.
No? Okay.
Guess I'm not a very cool mom.
I guess not.
I didn't know that till just now.
Right, so go ahead and do that for me, please.
It's cold.
All right, pretty awesome, right? How awesome would it be if you had something like that? If you ever bring yourself, your children bring themselves?
Foster actually did.
So you got to use it.
Yes, and he's a skeptic. He's like, it's not gonna work. And I put it on. He's like, oh, it's gone. Did you?
What?
Did you have that?
Just wipe your hands. You all right? Throw some dirt on it.
Right.
Dirt
Awesome.
on.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do actually not have that yet.
So if someone burns themselves and they don't have the burn job and they use the sunburn, you know,
Why would they not have the burn job?
I don't know, a kid took it or they misplaced it.
They used all of it somehow.
Yeah.
You know, it's a massive
So-
bottle.
Cool thing, great question.
They threw it in their beach bag and that's all they have.
Yeah.
They threw just this one bottle?
No, they threw the sunburn relief in their beach bag. And then they don't have the burn job. They're not on vacation.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that too.
Are we really gonna play the what if game all day? All
I
right.
would really do that. Throw the
But
sunburn.
yes, I would use this if I didn't have this. But obviously you wanna use this.
This is what Mark.
But yes, I would definitely, most certainly be willing to use this.
Not you.
Because third degree sunburns, right, they're nasty. You can use this on there and it helps, right? I would use this first, but yeah, I would definitely, this is all I had, I would certainly use it.
Did you reapply for your sunburn or after that it was good?
I reapplied to more baby, when it comes to sunburns. So yeah, I definitely reapplied just because it feels really good, so. Yep. Any questions on the burn kit? Appreciate it, Rick. Probably only missing on this.
Yep.
Alright, so now moving on, okay? Misconceptions 1 through 3, alright? Like I said, this is where you have your opportunity to show families that you are an expert in this career field, alright? I know there's a ton of writing up there, alright? Can we all see that okay?
If you talk about it.
Okay. I'll try to read from it a little bit so you can kind of get verbatim, right? So you're transitioning into going back to the kitchen or wherever they want, right? Now, if you show them the burn gel, if you show them on the kitchen table, the counter by the stove, wherever you're showing them, right? I have always told the customer, right, now Shannon, we can go back to the kitchen table. The sooner I get started, the sooner we're done. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Right? You're making it, you're telling them that the sooner we get started, hey, I'll be out of your hair in a jiff, okay? It works, right? People don't wanna sit there all day, right? And when you tell them that you're gonna go back to the table, then you'll be out there as soon as you go over the rest of the information, they're all excited for it, right? So, jump into the first misconception. What's the first misconception?
It's not gonna happen to me.
It's not gonna happen to me. For those of you who know somebody who's been affected by a home fire, did they call you about it before it happened? No. What about a carbon monoxide leak? Right? People don't know until it actually happens. Okay? But it's much better to be proactive than reactive. Would you say, Shannon? Right? How many of you guys have security systems on your home? In your home? How many of you guys? Okay, so we'll start with security systems. Has any of your guys' homes ever been broken into? So why do you have a security system?
To prevent against further break-ins.
Proactive and reactive, right? So they're gonna have a security system on their home even though they've never had a break-in. Why would they not upgrade their fire alarm system? Right? Even if they've never had a fire, right? Vehicles. How many guys in here have been in a car accident? No?
No, I have.
You?
Sorry, I just put my hand up.
Both of you? No one else been in a car accident before?
I mean, I wasn't driving, but I've been in.
Well, all right.
I mean, we could pretend that we haven't.
Yeah, we can pretend.
I didn't know this meant, like, I didn't know it was that common.
Well, I could go find someone out in the marketplace. Yeah,
If you're looking for a job.
I did yesterday. Seriously?
I know, let's see.
So we're gonna get sidetracked right there real quick too. Funny story. Actually, I'll let them tell you at the
We're
end.
gonna, we're gonna do the subway girl.
Subway girl?
When you guys are talking about Subway, we'll talk about it.
Oh.
So Subway's like, right, it's like fast food isn't that great, but Subway's good, so.
Better than Fish and Mike's?
Yeah,
Shut your
so I'd go
face.
pick up a lot for Scott and I and whoever else when we all worked in Freeland, or Saginaw, and I was like, this girl hates working at Subway. You know what I mean? Hates it. So I can actually tell her she's just not happy about anything, right? She's like, any vegetables and shit like that. So I said, we're hiring. It's a great job, right? Just talk to her about it. Just kind of keep your conversation light. And then I come back and tell Scott, like, I'm going to recruit the Subway girl, right? And then Scott goes on a different occasion, right? Right. How did it go?
Same,
Right.
yeah.
And then we went together one time and tried again, right? Everybody here can see Scott and I are pretty large men. This girl was maybe 95 pounds. So
Maybe,
flat, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
5'3", 5'4".
Yeah.
Yep.
So be on the lookout, right? On just perspective, right? Keep that key. So, but yeah.
We didn't recruit her.
We did not. Competition is still going.
Competition's still going.
Yeah. So we'll get there.
Yeah.
You know,
So
one day.
This is probably ongoing
You'll get
for
the Subway
3
girl
weeks,
one day.
probably.
Wow, yeah.
And it finally dawned on me to bring this to their attention, right? How uncomfortable would it make you if you were a small, petite woman and 2 large men came in there trying to get you to come work with them? or
Yeah, it's
work
kind of
for them,
creepy.
Okay?
Like
but-
Andrew just calling him out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, more power to them, right? Sorry. So back to the first misconception, right? Better to be proactive than reactive, right? How many of you guys have ever or had a flat tire or lost a tire on the highway? All right. So those of you who have it, why do you carry a spare end? You've never had a flat tire,
Just in case. Could
just in
happen.
case, right?
Not all the time anymore. You have to pay extra for it.
Seriously?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like an upgrade now.
You have to pay an extra $55 for it.
Yep. So again, right? We'll have spare tires, even though we've never had a flat tire. It's that proactive mindset, and that's what you got to paint into the customer's mind, the family's mind that you're seeing when they say something will never happen to me, right? And not only this, you should know how many smoke alarms they already have in their home. So if you're in a home and they have a 2,000 square foot home and they tell you, well, I got 1 or 2, they might not even be up. Well, why aren't your smoke alarms up? Okay. You are in a position where they have you in their home and you're the fire safety expert. You are warranted to say certain things, right? So it is your job to ask them the questions, okay? Again, remind them you're not there to fault them or accuse them of anything, but you're there to help, okay? So, moving on to the second misconception. What's the second misconception?
We have enough time to get out.
Plenty of time to escape.
Plenty of time to escape, all right?